In the shadow of escalating global tensions, Russia finds itself at a pivotal crossroads. Not merely enhancing its military might, it is rewriting the very doctrine that underpins its nuclear strategy. This shift comes as a reaction to recent events, conflicts, sanctions, and the West's unpredictable responses. It's not just about numbers, it's about a profound transformation of power dynamics. As Russia formally ended relations with Europe regarding conventional armament, a significant shift occurred. In 2023, Russia withdrew from the Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe, a document already disregarded since 2007. This treaty has now ceased to exist legally, with no intention of revival. The Ministry of Defense made a resounding statement: negotiating with those who break their word is futile, especially concerning NATO countries that no longer conceal their stance toward Russia and its military capabilities. The world is descending into chaos. Borders shift, alliances crack. For Russia, possessing the largest territory on the planet, the only option is to invest heavily in its military and technology. This isn't about prestige, it's a question of survival. Concurrently, Russia tackles various challenges: drones, electronic warfare, and radar invisibility. Nowadays, drones can be constructed from readily available materials, escaping all radar detection. This advancement presents a significant headache for military forces worldwide as Russia strives to stay a step ahead. But the most compelling developments arise when traditional military technologies, such as underwater missiles and bombers, unite with stealthy, precise digital systems. Enter the new hero in this narrative, the Su-57. This fifth-generation fighter is not just a leap in technology, it embodies a new philosophy of air combat. Recently, whispers of a groundbreaking armament, codenamed Trophy, have surfaced. This long-range cruise missile, crafted to fit within the aircraft's fuselage, is smaller than its predecessors, yet its capabilities rival those of heavy strategic bombers like the Tu-95. Imagine the ramifications: a stealth fighter carrying a missile with unprecedented range, designed for precision strikes without detection. As speculation swirls concerning its origins and capabilities, one question looms larger. What truly lies within this groundbreaking missile, waiting to reshape military engagements worldwide? This revelation ignites curiosity and concern, signaling a shift in the rules of engagement. In a world where silence can carry lethal intent, are we witnessing the dawn of a new age in warfare? A groundbreaking transformation has unfolded in military aviation, punctuated by the emergence of a remarkable long-range cruise missile known as Trophy. It's smaller than its predecessors, yet its distance capability rivals those previously launched only from heavy strategic aircraft like the Tu-95. But how did this happen? The answer lies in innovation. The missile features a folding wing and a compact engine with aerodynamics perfected for stealth and efficiency. Russian engineers achieved the impossible by packaging the destructive power of a strategic missile into an airframe suited for a fighter jet. This evolution prompts a question that ignites curiosity: what type of payload does this missile carry? The conventional design suggests a warhead mass of about 300 kilograms, sufficient to devastate fortified targets, command posts, and air bases. However, whispers of a more potent variant linger in the air. Could this be a specialized warhead, perhaps even a nuclear one? If true, this missile transforms into a tool for strategic deterrence. With stealth, range, and precision, it could redefine the battlefield. Consider the implications: a fighter jet equipped with such a capability could strike from over 2,000 kilometers away, rendering traditional air-to-air confrontations obsolete. This isn't about skirmishes, it's a calculated strategy to project power far beyond national borders. Picture an aircraft gliding silently into position, launching its missile, only to vanish from the radar. No warnings, just an explosion hours later, shattering the illusion of safety. And there's more. Remember the time when two of our fighters vanished from NATO radars, triggering alarms at the United Nations Security Council? That incident underscores the effectiveness of stealth technology. Now, with the missile's 2,000 to 3,500 kilometer range, invisibility intertwines with unprecedented striking power. As if that weren't enough, enter the S-70 unmanned aerial vehicle, known as the Hunter. It partners seamlessly with the Su-57 fighter jet. One guides, the other strikes. Imagining an entire squadron of such pairs hints at a new epoch in aerial tactics. But we're just scraping the surface. Extending the Su-57's range with extra fuel tanks could allow it to operate over 5,000 kilometers, more than the distance from Moscow to Damascus. This isn't just air defense anymore, it means dictating terms on foreign territory. As military experts agree, an aircraft's expanded capabilities directly enhance its production. Envision a single fighter that can perform roles previously filled by multiple aircraft, diminishing logistical complexities and amplifying strike power. The future is shaped by these innovations, as Russia steps boldly onto a global stage transformed by the nuances of modern warfare. In the previous segment, we highlighted the impressive capabilities of the Su-57 fighter jet. With an operational range surpassing 5,000 kilometers, greater than the distance from Moscow to Damascus, this aircraft is not just a defender of the skies, it can assert dominance in foreign territories. Now, let's delve into the deeper mystery hidden within its arsenal. What precisely does this new missile carry? If we consider a traditional warhead, its weight could be around 300 kilograms. This is more than sufficient to neutralize fortified targets like command centers, airfields, bridges, and warehouses. But what if it's more than just a conventional warhead? What if this missile represents something more strategic, something rarely discussed openly? Imagine a warhead that is stealthy and long range, capable of being guided to its target, and most strikingly, nuclear. This shifts the conversation entirely, elevating it to a significance that's hard to ignore. Crucially, such advanced weaponry doesn't materialize overnight. These projects span years, not months, but years. This suggests that the missile has been in development for quite some time, waiting for the right moment to make its debut. And now, that moment has come. The timing of this announcement isn't coincidental. As conflicts simmer in the Middle East and the United States deploys carrier groups to the region, Russia boldly proclaims, "We can strike you quietly and accurately from any direction." The distance to the hot zones, about 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers, falls perfectly within the reach of the new missile. This move transcends mere military posturing, it's a powerful diplomatic message. It underscores Russia's readiness, quietly asserting, "We are watching. We are prepared. We can strike with precision." This new missile effectively transforms the Su-57 into a dual-purpose aircraft, capable of fulfilling both tactical and strategic roles. Traditionally, heavy bombers took on this responsibility, but now a single, agile, stealthy fighter can do it all. The implications are significant. According to military experts, the expanded combat capabilities of the Su-57 directly influence its mass production. Simply put, the more tasks a single piece of equipment can accomplish, the more economically viable it becomes to produce it in greater quantity. The future of air power is clearly evolving, with technology leading the charge. Will this transformation reshape global military dynamics? Only time will tell. In the previous section, we explored how the Su-57's unmatched speed, stealth, and agility revolutionize its combat role. Military experts emphasize this transformation. The broader the aircraft's capabilities, the more cost-effective mass production becomes. But what does this evolution truly mean on the battlefield? The Su-57 is not just an advanced fighter jet. It's a force multiplier, designed to replace multiple aircraft types at once, from the Su-27 fighter to the MiG-29 interceptor, even some bomber variants. Imagine streamlining your entire fleet into one sleek, powerful machine. That means fewer aircraft models to maintain, less logistical chaos, reduced costs, and ultimately, more firepower concentrated per square meter of airspace. Developers behind the Su-57 haven't simply created technology, they have unveiled a blueprint for the future of aerial warfare. Meanwhile, those who still argue about Russia's military edge find themselves left further behind every day. The United States, China, Europe all recognize that Russia now holds a trump card that's difficult to surpass. But modern war is not won solely through the dominance of air or underwater forces. Increasingly, victory hinges on what you cannot see, the invisible battlefield of signals, frequencies, and communication. Whoever controls the flow of information controls the war itself. Russia is making a significant leap not only in missiles and aircraft but also in communication technologies that support troops in the toughest conditions. Frontline soldiers now receive encrypted satellite communication kits within days, sometimes as fast as 1 to 4 days. This isn't just support, it's rapid response logistics at its finest. Behind this effort stands a team known as Sverok. Unlike flashy headlines, their work might go unnoticed, but it's critical. They ensure soldiers connect to satellite internet, activate subscriptions, and receive 24/7 technical support. This network operates seamlessly despite sanctions and seemingly impossible challenges. But internet connectivity is only the beginning. To protect lives on the front line, troops are equipped with a portable device called the Yastreb 10, a compact spectrum analyzer. This small gadget can detect drone signals, identify enemy frequencies, and locate threats before they arrive. It's part of a next-generation electronic warfare system that doesn't just observe the airwaves but deciphers what's happening in real time. It allows soldiers to react proactively rather than endure attacks blindly. Sverok isn't just a business, it's a mission, working hand-in-hand with charitable foundations and the military. Their contributions have earned them accolades and trust. This blend of cutting-edge technology and unwavering commitment is quietly reshaping the battlefield in ways few anticipate. But what happens when this silent revolution collides with the thunder of jets and the roar of underwater missiles? The answer lies just ahead, where invisible waves meet tangible force, and the future of warfare is being rewritten in real time. Previously, we saw how swift action and real-time response can turn the tide in conflict zones. One company isn't just doing business, they've stepped into a mission, directly supporting the army and delivering humanitarian aid. Their efforts earned recognition and respect. But there's more beneath the surface, something that doesn't roar like rockets, yet is no less vital. Imagine a secret lifeline in the skies, a secure satellite communication system born from this project. It's not just for war, it serves education and innovation too. Why? Because every soldier who survives battle carries more than scars, they bear knowledge, experience, a living laboratory waiting to be unlocked and shared. These quieter solutions, though overshadowed by dazzling missile launches, are the backbone of any true army. It's about connection, support, and the promise that when danger strikes, you won't be left alone. As whispers of submarines and missiles stir unease across capitals, another transformation unfolds silently above. The Russian aerospace forces are receiving the world's largest heavy-lift helicopters, the revitalized Mi-26. This isn't just a machine, it's an airborne fortress reborn from decades of proven reliability. Updated with powerful new engines, digital avionics, satellite navigation, improved pilot cabins, and energy-absorbing seats, it's tailored for precision and resilience. Night operations? No problem, now fully compatible with night vision goggles. The Mi-26 is a record-breaking giant, holding 14 world records. Picture this, it lifts 25 tons to over 4,000 meters, 20 tons to 4,500 meters, 15 tons to 5,600 meters, and even 10 tons soaring at 6,400 meters. Few modern helicopters anywhere can claim such feats. One Mi-26 can carry up to 82 fully equipped troops at once. That's a whole company airborne, with gear, ammunition, and supplies, able to land where no runway or prepared site exists, a true flying airbase. But strength alone isn't enough today. The Mi-26 is equipped with the Vitebsk defense system, a shield against handheld missile threats that can confuse and divert incoming attacks. This helicopter is no longer a mere cargo carrier, it's a protected platform, a hard target opponents would hesitate to challenge. Here's a stunning twist, in 2022, this behemoth flew an evacuation mission that sounds like a movie script. It extracted American troops from the unforgiving mountains of Afghanistan. This feat proves the Mi-26's unmatched versatility and reliability amid chaos. What's coming next? How will the battlefield evolve when firepower meets unbreakable communication and invincible air transport? The skies are changing, and the rules of engagement are shifting. Stay tuned, because the next chapter reveals an even more startling leap forward. The previous part revealed how the Vitebsk defense system can jam and divert missiles from portable air defense systems, turning certain helicopters from mere transport vehicles into shielded platforms. It even took part in extracting American soldiers from the treacherous Afghan mountains in 2022, an unbelievable, yet true operation. Now, imagine this: American technology faltered where Russian machines excelled. This is no mere symbol. It's a real edge when battling the thin air and tight spaces of high altitudes. Today, the mighty Mi-26 works side by side with fierce machines like the Ka-52 Alligator, the Mi-28 Night Hunter, and the Mi-8 Terminator. Each has been upgraded with cutting-edge electronics, revamped navigation, improved cockpits, and modern armor. These aren't just helicopters anymore, they're flying command centers, ready to change the course of a battle in seconds. Picture an entire squadron of these beasts in the sky. They can swiftly redeploy troops, strike critical targets, evacuate the wounded, carry heavy loads, or simply intimidate the enemy. Because when you see a Mi-26 looming in the clouds, you know someone serious just arrived. But the fight isn't always in the air. The harshest battles unfold on the ground, in mud, narrow dirt roads, frozen fields, where ordinary vehicles get stuck and massive machines become sitting ducks. For those brutal conditions, all-terrain vehicles are born to conquer and survive. Recently, Russia's Ministry of Defense received the first batch of light-tracked armored vehicles called Plastin SN, only 14 units. It may sound small, but each one carries enormous battlefield potential. These aren't parade props or museum pieces. They're crafted for real frontline missions. Originally designed as civilian all-terrain vehicles, the Plastin SN was transformed into a fully military machine. It's used for medical evacuation, reconnaissance, and fire support. It can serve as a platform for self-propelled mortars or silently ferry a squad into the heart of chaos and then back out again. Here's the kicker: the Plastin is light, weighing just around 3,800 kilograms. It's powered by a 1.6-liter gasoline engine delivering 106 horsepower. Top speed? A modest 50 kilometers per hour. Not blazing fast, because speed isn't the point. It's about toughness, adaptability, and raw off-road capability. And this is where the real magic begins. What secrets hide beneath its rugged exterior? How can such a lightweight vehicle survive the brutal realities of frontline warfare? Stay with me, because what comes next will change everything you thought you knew about armored vehicles. Under the surface of an evolving battlefield, a quiet force is rising. It all starts with an innovation that can tackle steep inclines and navigate treacherous landscapes. This new lightweight vehicle, weighing approximately 3,800 kilograms, is engineered for maneuverability, powered by a gasoline engine with a capacity of 1.6 liters and 106 horsepower. It may not break speed records, reaching up to 50 kilometers per hour, but this machine's true strength lies in its all-terrain capabilities. Imagine the scene: a vehicle ascends in a climb of over 40 degrees, gliding down slopes of 45 degrees, and seamlessly traversing through trenches and ditches. It can even cross rivers, moving like a boat thanks to its amphibious design. When the mission calls for recovery, it can utilize its onboard winch to pull others from muddy obstacles. With space for up to 8 individuals, it embodies the adage of being small yet incredibly versatile, akin to a Swiss Army knife for army operations. In the chaotic theater of war, the mission is not about grandstanding on the front lines, but rather about presence where it's needed most, and delivering aid or shelter when the situation demands. This new class of utility vehicles is being rolled out, not in the distant future, but right now. The reality is unyielding: war does not follow a schedule, and adaptability is key. Debates on ethics, politics, and diplomacy fade into the background. On the front lines, it's about technology, precision, and response time. Russia has placed its bets on overwhelming strength, one that cannot be overlooked. Underwater. The Boryai-class submarines armed with Bulava missiles stand ready. In the sky, the Su-57 fighters hold the ability to strike targets over 2,000 kilometers away. On the ground, light and heavy armored vehicles navigate where no human foot has ventured before. These aren't merely concepts, they represent practical tools actively in use. Each piece of equipment sends clear signals to the world, enemies and allies alike. Ignoring Russia's military capabilities is no longer an option. Strike aircraft, upgraded helicopters, satellite communications, portable electronic warfare systems, and amphibious armored vehicles form a foundational array for survival in an ongoing conflict. While others cling to sanctions and political rhetoric, Russia has shifted into a different plane of reality, a domain where it's not about headlines, but tangible combat capacity and the explosive payload that reaches its target. This unfolding saga contrasts traditional might with an innovative approach to warfare, raising the question, how will nations respond when confronted with this new age of military technology? The winds of change are sweeping through the battlefield, but is anyone prepared for what comes next? In recent years, Russia has been systematically advancing its military capabilities, focusing on modernizing its armed forces and navy. This transformation includes the development of formidable weaponry like the Avangard missile system, equipped with a planning boost. The addition of a hypersonic intercontinental range system significantly strengthens its strike capability. A notable shift occurred recently when Russia formally exited the Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe, a document it effectively abandoned over a decade ago. What game-changing missile is wobbling the foundations of global security? Successful trials of the Sarmat intercontinental heavy missile are nearing completion, ready for combat duty. The hypersonic Dagger and the Peresvet laser system are also part of this strategic overhaul. The Navy is not left behind. It's set to receive modern weaponry including the Zircon hypersonic missile, a weapon unmatched globally in range and speed. Such advanced tools are already shaping today's armed forces and will undoubtedly shape their future direction. As these developments unfold, the pressure on preparing personnel intensifies. In more tangible terms, look beneath the ocean's surface. Something is brewing that could alter both military dynamics and the very architecture of global security. The underwater fleet, once a relic of the Cold War, is now a burgeoning reality, sparking both interest and concern. Russia's investment in its submarine fleet is ramping up, with significant modernization efforts underway. Nuclear submarines of the Boryai class are being developed. As potent as nature and as stealthy as shadows. These vessels carry Bulava ballistic missiles, each capable of delivering 6 thermonuclear warheads, each with a yield of 150 kilotons. To fathom that destruction, consider that each missile can obliterate a small city in a single strike, leaving no infrastructure, military assets, or lives behind. But this isn't merely about numbers. Russia is not just augmenting its strength, it is rewriting its doctrine, reshaping nuclear strategy based on recent geopolitical tensions and conflicts. What do these changes signal about the West's response, or lack thereof? The implications are massive, foreshadowing a new era in military strategy and engagements. The question looms, how will these advancements alter the fabric of international relations? As nations around the world reassess their positions, the echoes of this underwater renaissance will reverberate through every corner of global diplomacy and security. Imagine a missile so powerful, it can wipe out an entire small city in a single strike. Now, picture this weapon as part of a fleet lurking beneath the ocean's surface, silent, invisible, and deadly. What if the very rules of global power are shifting deep under the waves? In recent years, the world has witnessed a surge in revolutionary military advancements. Among them, the heavy intercontinental rocket known as Sarmat is completing its final trials. It's not just a missile, it's a game-changer. Alongside it, hypersonic weapons like the Kinzhal system and the cutting-edge laser technology Peresvet are redefining warfare's frontiers. These sophisticated weapons are soon to arm new surface vessels and nuclear submarines of the Navy, including the unparalleled hypersonic Zircon missiles. Their unmatched speed and range place them in a league of their own globally. This wave of innovation is more than technology, it's reshaping the very face of a nation's armed forces. Training demands are steeper, expecting soldiers and sailors to master complex, modern weaponry through rigorous and intensive combat exercises. But the real shift is beneath the ocean. Not metaphorical depths, but the actual dark waters where the submarine fleet is emerging as a dominant force. Once a Cold War relic, submarines now form an instrumental pillar of military strategy. This resurgence is palpable and unnerving. At the heart of this push are Project 955 submarines, known as Bory class. These vessels power through the depths like elemental forces, immense and unseen. Their secret weapon, the Bulava ballistic missile. Each missile carries 6 thermonuclear warheads, each packing an explosive yield of 150 kilotons. To put this in perspective, each warhead holds nearly 10 times the destructive power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The devastation radius is approximately 6 kilometers, meaning one salvo could erase an entire small city, civilian structures, military installations, and inhabitants alike, all gone in moments. But this story isn't just about numbers. It's about a seismic shift in strategy. Russia isn't merely expanding its might, it's rewriting its nuclear doctrine. This transformation draws lessons from recent years, escalating conflicts, sanctions, and the realities of ongoing military operations. It's a reaction to an unpredictable West, one that neither hides its stance toward Russia nor its military capabilities. These changes unfold amid the formal end of long-standing agreements on conventional arms in Europe. The treaty that once regulated troop levels has been effectively abandoned since 2007, with Russia's official withdrawal in 2023 marking its final death. De jure, it no longer exists. And no one seems interested in reviving it. The Ministry of Defense is forthright: negotiating with those who break their word is futile, especially when it comes to the nations of the North Atlantic Alliance. This is more than military reporting, these statements are signals. They reflect a world growing ever more chaotic, where borders shift and alliances crack. For a country spanning vast territories, investing heavily in military strength and technology is no longer optional. It is a matter of survival, not prestige. Alongside traditional weaponry, pressing challenges like drones, electronic warfare, and stealth technologies demand innovation. Today, a drone can be assembled quietly in a garage, invisible to any radar, a nightmare for armies worldwide. Russia strives to stay one step ahead in this new arena. The true revolution, however, begins when classic military power merges with digital precision and stealth. A new breed of weaponry is emerging, silent, precise, and devastating. The deep-sea fleet and these cutting-edge tools are not relics of history but the harbingers of a new era, threatening to reshape global security architecture forever. What happens when these underwater giants unleash their fury? How will the world respond when the invisible suddenly becomes unstoppable? The oceans hide the future of warfare, and the ripples are already spreading across the globe. What if I told you that a single submarine has left the North Atlantic Alliance trembling? As tensions rise, the newest Russian submarine, known as Krasnodar, has given Western powers a taste of their own vulnerability. Imagine a vessel so stealthy, it's nicknamed a black hole, capable of severing the United States from Europe by cutting vital communication routes across the Atlantic. The stakes have never been higher. In June, a mission was set for the USS George H.W. Bush, one of America's most formidable aircraft carriers, to track this elusive submarine. But how do you hunt something designed to vanish into the shadows? The Krasnodar, armed with cruise missiles and equipped with a virtually silent diesel-electric engine, glides through the depths with all the stealth of a whisper. It's so quiet that its propeller spins slowly, masking its presence beneath the waves. Recent revelations by the Wall Street Journal spotlight the sheer threat posed by Krasnodar. Despite modest armament compared to other submarines, it has emerged as a significant danger to the core of U.S. naval power, its aircraft carriers. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Behind this submarine lies a broader narrative of military enhancement and modernization within the Russian armed forces. In recent years, a concerted effort has been underway to upgrade Army and Navy capabilities. The development of the Avangard missile system with its gliding warhead marks a leap forward. This hypervelocity intercontinental weapon promises to bolster the potency of Russia's nuclear forces significantly. As these advancements unfold, experts warn that the entire military landscape is shifting. Yet, what truly underpins these technological strides? This relentless progress signals not just an increase in arsenal size but a transformative change in military doctrine. Amid escalating geopolitical tensions, Russia has opted for a path of aggression, voluntarily exiting treaties that once governed conventional arms in Europe. The Ministry of Defense has declared that negotiation with untrustworthy partners, particularly from the North Atlantic Alliance, is futile. With vast territories at stake, Russia has no alternative but to invest heavily in military technology. This commitment encompasses areas like drones, electronic warfare, and radar invisibility. Imagine a drone, easily assembled from everyday materials, capable of eluding detection by the most sophisticated systems. Such innovations stand to keep global military powers on edge, raising the question, how prepared are they for an invisible adversary? The most astonishing developments arise when traditional warfare capabilities merge with digital innovation. Enter the Su-57, a fifth-generation fighter jet that's more than just a machine, it's a philosophy of warfare. Bursting with new technology, this aircraft has recently unveiled a revolutionary munition. Known tentatively as Trophy, this long-range cruise missile is integrated into the aircraft's body, providing capability previously reserved for strategic bombers. And what makes its range extraordinary? The secret lies in the engineering. A compact design, innovative wing mechanics, and aerodynamics taken to new heights. The Russian engineers behind this marvel have managed to encapsulate the strike power of a strategic missile into a frame fit for a fighter jet. Speculations abound that this missile is linked to the legendary X-11.102 or a variant of the 50 missile, rumored to have a reach of up to 3,500 kilometers. So, what does all this mean for future combat scenarios? These missiles aren't tailored for minor skirmishes, they represent a strategic shift, allowing Russian forces to engage far beyond their borders, ripe with potential for surprise attacks. Pairs of Su-57s armed with these missiles could redefine military engagement, making conventional air defense strategies obsolete. As the situation in the Middle East intensifies, and the United States stations aircraft carrier groups near conflict zones, Russia boldly proclaims its readiness. We possess the capability to strike quietly and accurately from any direction, they assert. With a reach of up to 3,000 kilometers, Krasnodar represents either a warning or a declaration of intent, leaving adversaries to question their security. This transition is more than mere rhetoric, it symbolizes a reimagined tactical approach. No longer does the heavy bomber have to shoulder the burden of strategic operations. Now, a single, agile aircraft can execute both tactical and strategic missions. The implications of the Su-57 are vast. It stands to replace several aircraft roles, streamlining logistics while amplifying strike capabilities. This new paradigm narrows the focus of military assets, promising greater efficiency and potency in combat scenarios. In this race for dominance, how will the world respond to a military beast like the Krasnodar? The reality is, the balance of power is shifting swiftly, and those unprepared for this tumultuous era may find themselves left in the shadows of history.